doing what is necessary to save the millions of lives at risk? Are we upholding our legal, political, humanitarian, moral, and human obligations? And the answer is absolutely clear: we are not. Every single country will be asked, what did you do during this genocide? Not what you said or what you considered doing, but what did you actually do? What did you do to stop it and stop the destruction of human life?
Alanna O'Malley joins us now from Florence in Italy. She's an expert of the United Nations and an associate professor of history at Leiden University. Very good to have you here on the program. You heard the words there of Riyad Mansour. Do you agree that the world is basically turning a blind eye to what's happening in Gaza?
I think it's an incredibly difficult situation whereby we have this literally day by day playing out of a genocide. At first it was with the military incursions into Gaza by the Israeli army and the attacks on the Palestinians, and now we see this slow slaughter of the Palestinian people by using starvation as a method of war, and it appears very much as though states are standing by and letting this happen because we don't see concerted action against Israel to try to force them to put an end to this. And so actually what's playing out is exactly as the Palestinian Ambassador described, whereby we have this situation where people are starving to death every single day, and whereby the aid that they require is actually on the borders, but it's not actually able to be distributed to them because of the way in which Israel controls the Strip. So it's very much a deliberate effort of starvation. During the ICJ arguments that were presented at the ICJ case in The Hague by South Africa last year, they were already talking about starvation and hunger and food security as elements in this war. And now we see that playing out really to an extreme level. So we really, really, really need a concerted action against Israel by the United States, by the European powers, and by all of Israel's so-called allies in order to encourage them and in fact oblige them to allow aid into the Strip to alleviate this situation.
I mean, the world did say never again, and now again we're seeing starving people like skeletons, and it's all over our TV screens. The whole world can see it, yet it continues. I mean, is this history repeating itself?
Well, as a historian, I couldn't agree that history repeats itself in exactly the same way. But what I would say is that there's a serious lack of political will in actually encouraging Israel and, as I said, obliging Israel to abide by its own agreement to international law and to alleviate the suffering. So what's happening is we have a repetition of a lack of political will in the face of extreme suffering. That's what we do see being repeated from previous mass slaughters, unfortunately. And what is really required here is powerful states to put pressure on Israel. Now, whether or not that's economic pressure with sanctions, whether it's political pressure with political agreements, whether it's through multilateral organizations in as much as that's possible, that is really the remedy to this, to encourage a change in position from the Israeli government, because they are the ones who control the Strip. And it's at the moment impossible for the international community in any form, including the UN, to actually intervene. So political pressure is what's key here, economic and political pressure on Israel in order to stop them from really starving the people of Gaza.
Yeah, we'll have to see at what point the world actually comes together and says enough is enough. Thank you so much, Professor O'Malley, for joining us.